Now, the reason why I like those... What? $1. I can't hear you. Love Tay. Hi, Dante. Hi, Dante. This is my first donation ever, so I thought I might as well give it to an important, I'm guessing streamer, person. I appreciate you, man. Love you, bro. So look, one that I really like is Jim Carrey because just the way these actors are, they cannot be like replaced, and that's when I saw this video. Why Jim Carrey is one of the only actors you can't replace. I don't agree that he's one of the only actors, but he's definitely an actor that you cannot replace no matter how much you try. And that's why I like Chris Tucker too, because I mean, people say Chris Tucker was kind of replaced in the new Friday with Mike Epps, but you feel him missing. Like, you feel his presence missing. I'm not gonna lie. Jojo the mofo with the raid, my boy. I appreciate you, man. Go ahead and lay your ass down, bro. Lay your ass down, cause I know that boy tired. What up, mofo mafia? You came at the perfect time. We're talking about Jim Carrey, an actor who cannot be replaced, and there's a video why. Now, not JoJo. Jim Carrey is one of my top 3 favorite comedic actors. All right, and without a doubt, he can't be replaced in any way, shape, or form. And you know, y'all love JoJo, and that's the same way with JoJo, bro. JoJo can't be replaced either, bro. Who like? There's no streamer like JoJo. There's like people who have such presence, and Robin Williams, bro. Robin Williams cannot be replaced either. Fucking GOAT, bro. They can try, but they can't. Now it's time to give Jim Carrey his motherfucking flowers. So chat, let's give our full undivided attention.
You love me. You really.
Anybody seen The Mask? I know this is like kind of older movie, so it's like a lot of y'all are uncultured, bro. But The Mask, beautiful.
Love me.
This was Jim Carrey's The Mask.
Why aren't you screwing with my mind? Maybe I am just going crazy.
Oh my god, I remember this movie. Do y'all remember this? This was like the sequel. And every time I see this dude, I think of Malibu's Most Wanted. I don't know what they thought, what they were thinking when they casted this guy.
Going crazy.
Maybe
I am just going.
And this is the pseudo-sequel completed without Carrey, Son of the Mask.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Head detective.
This was the 1994 film Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Who are you?
Ace Ventura. Darrow Hudge Jr. Esquire, I represent the defendant.
And this was the 2009 atrocity, Ace Ventura Jr. We could go on.
What is this? Wait, what is this? This is the first time I've ever seen this. Wait, there was a hold on. There was a knockoff Dumb and Dumber? Dumb and Dumber. I'm just put knockoff. Chat, I literally can't find the film. What is it called? The prequel? Oh my god. Dumb and Dumber prequel. Why? What?
I thought we handled that pretty well. These are really cold, huh? That's why you gotta drink them fast, Terry. Trust me. Drink it, Harry. Come on, buddy. Drink. Go, Harry, go. Woo-hoo! Ow. Refreshing. So what do you want to do today, Harry? I don't know. Oh, ow. It hurts so good. No, Harry, you're not drinking it fast enough. You gotta drink back. You gotta go back. Go back.
Nah, this was actually funny. Wait, people like this one? Wait, people actually like this Really? I ain't judging nobody, but
I'm back. You gotta drink it fast, Harry, before it melts.
okay, I can't do any more. I can't do any more.
But we'll refrain. In this modern age of cinema
I will say Evan Almighty was all right. Definitely nothing compared to Bruce Almighty, but Evan Almighty or whatever was cool. I liked it, but definitely wasn't better.
Refrain. In this modern age of cinema where the idea of the movie star has largely gone the way of the dodo, it's easy to forget the importance of star power at the center of a film that can often take a mediocre work on paper and elevate it to greatness. Perhaps no career embodies that power more than Jim Carrey. Carrey's movie career built franchises through his anarchic comedic persona, but when studios tried to revisit his iconic films without him, his absence would sink
Hey,
the project.
It would be a huge B-Day present if I get a happy birthday from you.
Happy birthday, Jeremiah. I hope you've had a great day, man.
Proving him to be completely irreplaceable.
Facts.
It is good to see what someone with real talent can do when great opportunities are given to them instead of me.
Jim Carrey's career began during the stand-up comedy explosion of the late 70s through the 80s. He worked his way through stand-up clubs, honing his act which contained numerous impressions of pop culture figures. His work gained the attention of the legendary Rodney Dangerfield, who often had Carrey perform as his opening act. Carrey's career would enter its next major phase when he booked a regular cast member role on the hit sketch comedy series In Living Color.
There it is.
And this show would become the launching pad for the most important year of Carrey's career. In February of 1994, Jim Carrey appeared in his first starring role, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Love it.
With Carrey's star power completely unproven, the expectations for the film's box office earnings were extremely low. This made it all the more shocking when the movie raked in a whopping $107.2 million on only a $15 million budget.
You've done some fine detective work.
Bro, didn't Avatar just get like a billion over the weekend? Goddamn.
Could you speak into my good ear? I thought I heard you call me Ace.
In July of that same year, The Mask debuted, and buoyed by the popularity of Ace Ventura, the film raked in $350 million worldwide. For perspective, this made The Mask the second most financially successful comic book movie of all time.
This was a comic book movie?
Just behind Tim Burton's Batman. Those back-to-back successes would be enough to launch any actor to the Hollywood stardom stratosphere.
Somebody stop me!
But the run didn't end there. In December, Carrey closed the year out with one final mega hit, Dumb and Dumber, grossing $247 million worldwide.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you totally redeem yourself!
With all these massive hits
to Michael and Jeremiah, praying gesture.
His name.
Who Michael? Is it Michael's birthday? Tell Michael to get his ass in the stream and donate. How about that? Michael, you don't get no freebies, all right? Jeremiah already put in work. It's his birthday. What are you doing, bro? You just sitting there telling him to say your name?
It's obvious that Hollywood would demand sequels to these proven beloved classics. However, Carrey has largely avoided them for most of his career. Currently, he has only appeared in 4 sequels. The reason for that lies in part with the production of Ace Ventura 2. The sequel was rushed into production at the same time that Carrey was experiencing his meteoric rise to stardom.
I'm not gonna lie though, the second Ace Ventura was like, I feel like that was better than the first one.
With the pressures to meet high expectations, as well as numerous behind-the-scenes disagreements and production issues, the experience seemed to sour Carrey's entire perspective on
Yo, K-Roll Dread, thank you for the 5
The
gifted, bro.
song isn't a diss, he giving you your props at the end of his verse. It's called Lil Timmy Triple Double.
Is this you? Lil Timmy Triple Double. Okay, look, I'll bring it up, man, okay? I'll bring it up for you, bro. Jeez, man. It's probably his own song. Lil Trimmy Triple Double? Something like that? Triple Double. What is this it? Is it featuring Max the Demon? Okay.
Any future potential sequels. On the topic, Carrey is quoted as saying, I find sequels are a function of commerce for the most part, at least the two I've done. They were characters I enjoyed doing, but I did find myself almost parroting myself at that point. For Carrey, his success meant sequels were never really a necessity, and he understandably felt that many of them were an inevitable case of diminishing returns from the success of the original films.
I'm not a crazy sequel guy.
There have been 4 attempts to revitalize a Jim Carrey comedy without Carrey's involvement. The first was 2003's Dumb and Dumber When Harry Met Lloyd, a prequel to the original Dumb and Dumber that shares the origin of Harry and Lloyd's friendship. Stepping into Carrey's shoes as Lloyd Christmas is Eric Christian Olsen, who has the unenviable task of trying to match Carrey's comedic energy. Besides having a plain, unfunny script, the entire—
That's the thing, like, why would you want to take up a role that's based off somebody else? Because now you're typecasted, and it's a bad typecast because like they would just get the regular Jim Carrey. They wouldn't get a Jim Carrey clone, you know?
The entire movie feels like a bunch of kids doing a series of impressions of their favorite movie rather than a genuine performance. It's a role that truly sets up any actor for failure because anyone can make an impression, but Carrey's ability to surprise and entertain is truly impossible to replicate.
Did you at least enjoy yourself?
No, it was a complete waste of time.
Fortunately, one lesson was learned from this failure. Don't expect anyone to play one of Carrey's iconic characters. The future Carrey sequel attempts did not bother to ask—
It does look like him, but like, come on now. Chat, how'd y'all feel about the Tupac movie when it came out? Like, yeah, he looked like him, but like, was the movie good? Was the movie good though?
Anyone to attempt to be Jim Carrey, but they still expected them to carry on films that he made iconic, inevitably inviting comparisons. In the films Ace Ventura Jr. and Son of the Mask both make the material much more family-friendly.
Who the fuck is this baby?
And in the process provide a watered-down version of what was once a potent comedic brew. While there are certainly aspects of those original films that should be left in the past, these two films don't come anywhere near achieving the comedic heights as the original by being for kids.
This is the crappiest piece of crap in Craptown.
Even attempting to replace Jim Carrey with another beloved comedy icon in the film Evan Almighty proved to be an exercise in futility. While Steve Carell is certainly—
Wasn't that bad though. Wasn't that bad.
I love you, bro. Thank you for the best B-Day present at this point. Have the rest of my birthday's money.
Bro, I appreciate you. Goddamn, bro. You didn't have to do that. Look, don't be trying to refund it later, bro. Talking about, yo, remember that birthday money I gave you, bro? I really actually need that back.
A beloved comedic actor, he doesn't have the same megawatt
why do y'all
star power that Carrey had at his peak. Giving him a script that is more family-friendly once again took away what little comedic edge there was from the original film. Beyond their creative failures, all of these failed follow-ups had paltry financial earnings, especially
compared— I listened to the song. That shit is ass. I had to pay $3 to let you know. El promo.
Yo, bro, it wasn't me. I didn't say nothing. He went and listened to it for himself. So technically, it's like, do I really have to listen to it now? Do I really still have to listen to it, man? Come on, bro.
Hey, ImDOntai, if you finished Chainsaw Man Season 1, what would you rate it?
I haven't watched it yet because, like I read the manga, so it's like, I wasn't in a rush to watch it. But I need to finish the first season.
I'm comparing the Tupac movie to the Notorious movie, I love Tupac, but Biggie's was better. Why? Because they had more runtime, the pacing actually felt right, and the movie had better actors. The Tupac movie went from one thing to another without explanation.
I think it's because they just expect us to, like, already know. I don't know. Please still listen to it. The manga's way better.
Compared to the box office juggernauts of Carrey's 1994 run.
People say that about anything though. Like any show that comes out, people say the manga's better. Is this nigga on his knees? Bro, I'm standing. I'm standing up. My table goes. My table goes up, bruh. Damn.
Just cruel. Do you see him? I don't see him.
All of this proves that the true IP power of these films was never the ideas or the characters. It was Carrey all along. Even Jim Carrey himself ultimately could not fully replicate his own success. 2014's Dumb and Dumber 2 was nowhere near the hit the original film was.
Yo, that's kind of where Eminem is with his music. Like, he's still good, but it's like nowhere near. MC Firm with the 20 gifted subs. My guy, I appreciate you, bro. Yo, thank you so much for the 20 gifted, bro. Dante kind of built like Nadia. What does that even mean?
The movie reunites both Carrey and co-star Jeff Daniels, as well as the original writers and directors, the Farley brothers. But the comedic style that was once so shocking and unexpected to audiences had become stale. The film feels like a once great band struggling to perform their greatest hits.
Damn.
As Carrey himself predicted, these actors were unable to recapture the magic that made the original film great. Audiences had changed and evolved, but the comedy of Dumb and Dumber 2 stayed the same.
Wouldn't have been funny if I stopped too soon. Comedy's all about timing here.
Nowadays, Carrey, like most film actors, balances a variety of projects from indie films to prestige auteur television to mega franchise blockbusters,
like a whole
but
bunch of
does not
random
diminish
shit.
the fact that his name still holds value, and any attempt to revive the brands he built won't be as successful without his name attached. Even when he is part of
Chat, literally the only reason I saw the first Sonic movie was because Jim Carrey was in it. Literally.
a franchise, like his role as Dr. Robotnik in Sonic the Hedgehog, the appeal of him returning to an over-the-top comedic role has doubtless been a factor in the success of both Sonic films.
The reality is, I surpassed everything you're ever going to do.
Although the world of film has changed, nothing can change the power of Carrey's film persona. The films needed him more than he needed the films, and that, more than anything, is the true sign of a movie star. What do you think? Is the death of the movie star greatly exaggerated? Or is Carrey one of the last of a dying breed of actor? Let us know what you think, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
I feel like the death of a movie star is real though. Cause chat, literally with like the Marvel movies, there could be an actor that plays a role and they could literally just replace him and nobody really cares, bro. People get replaced and like nobody really cares. Like there's no like really like stars, bro. I mean, you could say I don't know, man. I don't know. Hangover video, please. Y'all want to watch the Hangover one? The inevitable downfall of the Hangover franchise. Yeah, the Hangover started off good. The Hangover started off really good, and then the second one came out, and I think that was okay. But then the third one came out, and they were in a whole different fucking country, bro. Okay.
Now I know for sure I just added 2 more guys to my wolf pack. So tonight, I make a toast. What?
What do you got there?
This is The Hangover. Its stellar cast, memorable premise, and darkly comedic tone made for the perfect raunchy comedy. And as often happens with good movies, it was fast-tracked for 2 sequels.
Damn!
But the series has been on the reputational decline for years. So how does a trilogy of movies that made a collective $1.4 billion at the box office degenerate to such an extent?
Yo, I remember this movie like had a chokehold on people, that people were actually leaving mattresses on the fucking hotel that they stayed at in Vegas.
We've been on a lot of adventures together, but it seems like you haven't learned anything.
Directed by Todd Phillips, The Hangover's story actually begins much earlier than its 2009 release date. Based on an apparent real-life Las Vegas bachelor party bender, the writers had been working on this screenplay since at least 2007.
I heard the song It's Actually Not Bad Lol Pretty Fire.
All to count.
But various bits and pieces of the idea had reportedly been floating around Warner Brothers since 2003. Now, this should come as no surprise considering the gross-out raunchy comedy subgenre was in full swing in the early 2000s. The Scary Movie and American Pie franchises had already released several iterations, and everyone was trying to cash in on the trend.
That escalated quickly.
But as much as The Hangover may have been riding a wave of popularity, it wasn't just
This movie star bullshit is literally subjective. There is no real dying movie star. That shit is heavily exaggerated.
Is it though? Is it though, man? The last real movie star is Tom Cruise and motherfucking Who knows, man? I don't fucking know. Stop pausing so much.
A simple retread of what audiences had come to expect. When the movie came out, critics were less than unanimous in their praise. Some reviewers were all in for the dark, vulgar journey, while others were stuck in the admittedly tired stereotypes, cut and dry misogyny and sexism, and dependence on shock value humor. But there was no gray area in the audience's reaction. The talent of Zach Galifianakis, Bradley Cooper, and Ed Helms made what could have been a pale imitation of past comedies into something genuinely fun and fresh. While Cooper had mainly been a secondary character in popular movies like Wedding Crashers and Yes Man, Helms was a regular on The Office.
We still have Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson. As what? Movie stars? I'm not gonna lie. I think people are getting sick of The Rock. I love The Rock.
Hey, don't I you seeing Megan when it come out? Also hope a year is going good.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Megan. That's with the little robot girl, bro. I don't know about I don't know, like, I love The Rock, but I don't know about him being like the, you know, I don't know about that. He does, okay, maybe that is, okay, yeah. Maybe The Rock. He does sell. If people see The Rock, they're gonna go see the movie because it's The Rock.
And Zach Galifianakis was a relative unknown. Together, they brought something truly special to the screen.
Like the
chaotic romp through Vegas was strengthened by the cast's believable friendships, the wildly escalating antics, and the whodunit mystery at the center of the plot. It did its job perfectly. So perfectly, in fact, The Hangover made over $469 million at the box office and enjoyed years of cultural relevance. It's been parodied to death by other media, made up a large chunk of frat boy Halloween costumes for almost a decade, and even had an impact on Las Vegas itself, particularly the Caesars Palace Hotel in which some of the movie takes place.
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
To say The Hangover was a success is putting things extremely mildly, but it was never a guaranteed hit. Before filming even began, the execs wanted to split the movie's budget and Todd Phillips' director's fee in half, due to a lack of confidence in the idea and unwillingness to throw money at it. To leave the budget intact, Todd Phillips waived the majority.
Shit is subjective like hell. No matter what, everyone is gonna have an opinion. There are gonna be people who believe there are no more movie stars and people who believe there still are, but at the end of the day, who gives a fuck?
Jeez. Who gives a fuck?
Majority of his director's fee, cutting a deal to receive a portion of the profits the movie made. This actually ended up making Todd Phillips a ridiculous—
Wait, Todd Phillips, didn't he do the Joker? Didn't he make the Joker movie?
—amount of money, considering how well The Hangover ended up performing in theaters. And that success meant a sequel was immediately on the table. With the same director, the same cast, and virtually the same premise, The Hangover Part 2 was bound to be just as good as the first movie, right?
It's not the end of the world.
I'm sorry, but I am so confused.
The second Hangover was nothing more than a dull, uninspired, and painfully unfunny copy of the first movie. Everything from the bachelor party plot catalyst to the mystery of their missing friend to the antagonists of the movie were all lifted directly from its predecessor. However, this didn't—
I think 2 was cool because they kind of just did this, like, they just kept with the same thing. I don't know. I think people like, if you like the first one for what it was, and it has such a unique plot, if they just do it again in a different place, I think people would just be like, yeah, you know what, this is cool. I liked it. You know, I thought it was cool.
Stop the sequel from smashing box office records.
But 3 times is like, okay, buddy. Okay, buddy.
Prompting the immediate green light of a third entry, 2013's The Hangover Part 3.
Okay,
but this time, audiences didn't flock to theaters. The reception to Part 2 had done its damage, cutting box office revenue in half for this final outing, with critic and audience scores dipping in its wake. The name that was synonymous with top-tier R-rated comedies in 2009 had become a vile stain on the genre by the early 2010s. So what happened to make audiences turn on the Hangover series so fast?
Guys, we can't fall apart now. We gotta stick together.
Perhaps the most overlooked issue that the Hangover series faced was the very public success of the first movie.
Yeah.
It took all the wild jokes, offensive content, and mature subject matter that people were used to seeing in movies like Eurotrip and pushed them even further. This level of shock and horror was exactly what these types of movies had been gearing up to for years. Nothing was off the table, and in some cases, they pushed those boundaries right over the edge.
No, literally in the first Hangover, didn't homie get out the trunk like butt naked and you seen his dick and shit? Like, what? Was that movie rated R?
Top that? The short answer is, you can't. Because while The Hangover was a sensation in theaters, it would also mark the slow decline of the raunchy R-rated comedy. Once audiences
I love Teddy. Ted, right?
had seen all—
What the—
Yo, last Dono, shut the fuck up and shake that ass, bitch. Yo, Ty, what the fuck are you looking at, bitch?
Who are you talking to? And how are they able to put this— what movie was this?
The debauchery that the genre had to offer in a single movie.
Was that in The Hangover? Was that in The Hangover? What the fuck? Okay, that movie is crazy. No way they could do that shit in a third one.
That initial thrill wore off. For a lot of people, it wasn't funny at all anymore. Just downright offensive.
I got a pretty dope sense of humor, brah.
Other production companies and Warner Brothers themselves had to adapt. They could choose to try to top The Hangover's raunchiness, which was a losing battle on all sides, or they could tone it down and change with the times.
I like this
Most
movie
companies chose the second option. But Warner Brothers kind of straddled the line, and this is where those terrible sequels come back into play. It wasn't just the recycled plot that hurt The Hangover Part 2. Every dark joke they threw at the audience had been done before, and thus wasn't nearly as exciting as it had been in 2009. In general, their attempts to humanize the characters outside of the context of that original Vegas adventure, the writers actually made the Wolfpack unlikable and unrelatable, which completely ruined their charm. And when they tried to appease the censors and flip the script in Part 3, they lost their edge, which meant they lost what made The Hangover such a hit in the first place.
How do you kill what's already dead?
Playing out more like a paint-by-numbers heist movie, The Hangover Part 3 wasn't even a soulless rehash. It was a boring mess with a strangely depressing tone, way too much death, and a heavy focus on the character of Alan, who only really worked as a comic relief sidekick. When his weirdo nature—
I think it was because everybody liked him, and so they tried to just give him more screen time.
—was used sparingly in juxtaposition of Phil and Stu, things were fine. But elevating him to main protagonist status made for a truly odd and, at times, frankly frustrating experience.
Grow up, Alan.
Part 3's departure from the format should have been revitalizing, but it failed spectacularly. It's no wonder the third movie was also the final one in the series.
Wait, so he just said people didn't like it because of all of a sudden same genre of jokes became offensive to them. So it's not a problem of sequels, it's a problem of the trend of being offended about everything.
Gotta go. We should go.
Yeah.
So it's just like the jokes wasn't hitting.
Basically, the creative minds behind The Hangover had literally written themselves into a corner and had no way to back out or move forward. The greatness and vulgarity of the first movie couldn't be replicated, and the sequels only served to water down its legacy with poor execution and the heavy burden of expectation. But while we can mourn the loss of The Hangover, we should also be mindful of the space it left behind. Movies like Bridesmaids, 21 Jump Street, and The Nice Guys all came out of that post-Hangover period of time where companies had to adapt to a changing market. These other movies are incredibly entertaining in their own right. They're whip-smart, charming, and sometimes hilariously disgusting, but it's clear where their influences came from. There was never a chance that The Hangover style of humor would age well. That's sort of the nature of raunchy comedies. So while we likely won't ever see a Hangover movie that properly recreates the feeling of the original, its impact on the industry is undeniable. Hey, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you haven't done—
I mean, you kind of can't do it anymore though. Like you kind of can't make those type of movies because then you end up on Twitter. Like a clip, a scene of a movie is gonna end up on Twitter and everybody's gonna be mad and everybody's gonna be like, yo, y'all really watch this? Wait, y'all really like this? This is the stuff y'all be watching? So this is the stuff that y'all be bringing y'all kids to theaters for? It's like, bro, you can't really have fun with anything anymore without people complaining. Grown-ups comedy is dying. I feel like comedy has just become more like people have to be more aware, and they've been trying not to step on any toes.